Hello, welcome to Pike Creek Farm. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Renee. I live in the thumb of Michigan, and I like to do videos on canning and baking and vintage recipes and just life here at this stage of life. I'm semi-retired, trying to be thrifty while still thriving, and today I am tackling a project that it's been on my list to do, and it's part of my theme for this month is freezer fixes, and meaning I need to get stuff out of my freezer. I am planning my menus based on what's in my freezer and fresh produce that I get, and then trying just to fill in the gaps from the store, but trying to reduce my grocery bill for this month because it's a great way of doing it. And then, I will fill in with the fresh produce coming that I preserve in the freezer or when there's a sale, but I need to use what's in there because some of it's been in there a while, so I need to cycle through it. So I'm trying not to pay attention to sales in the stores. Today what I'm doing is I took my tomatoes that I froze last fall out of the freezer. So here's one bowl, if you can see them, and I have them thawing, and with these were weighed out. It is 6 pounds. And I'm going to make some more pizza sauce. I have gone through, I think I have 1 jar left from that I made last summer. So we love making pizzas. My grandkids like making pizzas. And I like the Mrs. Wages sauce a lot, and it's very convenient, and the flavor is great. So these will become pizza sauce. And then I have, let me show you. I have 4 more bags. That was ice that I have thawing out. And those I'm gonna make into just crushed tomatoes. I might add some seasoning to them, but that's gonna be tomatoes that I use for making different casseroles, homemade spaghetti sauce, chili, all the things. And she's being very insistent that she wants in. And these tomatoes I got last summer and fall when I'd get them in my veggie boxes that I get, or I'd get them off our plants that we had, and there wasn't enough to can, so I put them in bags. I wash them, I core them, but the skins are still on. But look at that. This is the good part about freezing tomatoes. So easy to get the skins off. Now, there are some rules for using these tomatoes. You can't make salsa. The texture won't be right. You can make sauces. You can make stewed tomatoes. Anything cooked that's broken down. You don't want it to be something where you want that texture of the tomato because, they get soft. So it makes making anything else very easy. I have made a marinara sauce, and I might do that with some of them. I don't know, I'm still debating, but I wanted to show you my tomatoes and one of my freezer fixes, and I will bring you along when I jar them up. But let me show you. I'm going to peel off some of the peels now, but as they thaw, I'm going to get a bowl out. As they thaw, you can just peel off these skins. So to me, this is great if I'm not going to use them fresh, because sometimes you have so many fresh. I throw them in the bag and I take advantage of them later. So that one, only one side was thawed. And I just squirted my shirt. And these are a mixture of tomatoes. You could separate them if you want, but I truly like the flavor of a mixture of kinds of tomatoes in my tomato products that I can. I don't use just the Roma or the Amish paste. I do use them, but I don't usually use them exclusively. Maybe some recipes. So I'm going to keep working on these and getting these to peel and getting them ready to process. And another thing about doing your tomatoes this way, all the juices that come out, the tomato water, you want to keep that. Some of your acidity that makes it safe to can is in that juice. That's part of the equation that they take into processing it to make it safe. It's part of the equation. So I know it's real tempting to pour it off, so then you're starting off with a thicker mixture. Don't have to cook it down as much. But they really say not to do that. I put them in the fridge and let them thaw overnight. So, do you see all that water? It's not really water, it's tomato water. It has flavor and everything. So, and they're still frosty a little. So I am going to pick all the skins. Then we'll transfer this to a pan since it's already pre-measured. Have my pot. I'm going to use a ladle to get it going. I somehow can imagine making a huge mess with this. If I'm doing a double batch, I'll make it in my roaster and I'll put that straight onto the stove. But since I had this in a stainless steel bowl, I need to transfer it. So I'm going to dump this in. Aha, and no spills. Okay. Next, we're going to add the contents of our package. And that smells so good. Then we're going to add some sugar. We add 5 tablespoons of sugar. We don't add any lemon juice because citric acid is already in the ingredients here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna give this all a stir and turn on the heat to medium. This is a stainless steel pot. You don't want to use aluminum. And we're going to bring this to a boil, reduce the heat, and let it simmer for 25 minutes. And the tomatoes will break down. Turn it up a little over medium. It is getting warm, it is steaming, it's going to start boiling soon. And I am going to take my immersion blender and break up the tomatoes. I'm not a fan of big chunks in my pizza sauce, but so I'm going to just puree it up some. We go. So it will come to a boil soon. Then I will turn it down and set the timer for 25 minutes. And it will reduce some, but it won't reduce by half or be super thick. It is not a super thick sauce, but it does work really well on pizza. And when you open it, if you wanted to add a little bit of tomato paste, you could do that. It has started to boil, so I will turn it down now and make sure I give it a stir. Okay, the sauce is ready. You see, it's not a real thick sauce. It's not. It does thicken up after processing and sitting on the shelf, and you have to stir it. But I'm going to can it in pints. It's supposed to make 5 pints. A lot of times I do it in half pints. 1/2 pint is perfect for 1 pizza. I have been making 2 pizzas at a time and then freezing or giving one to my son, or I go over and my granddaughter and I will make 2 pizzas. So this batch I'm going to do in pints. So I am all ready. I got my steam canner. I'm full of water to the bottom here and on, so it's warm. I have my jars were warm. I just took hot water out of this one, and I have my pizza sauce is hot. So hot, hot, hot. That's the way we do it. I got my lids, I got my rings. We're ready to fill these jars. And it's 1-inch headspace, and they will process for, let me double check, 40 minutes. Yes, 40 minutes. Mrs. Wages makes it real simple. Let me get you set up. Okay. I did prepare 6 jars, but it's supposed to be 5. Okay, you can stir this, but there really isn't a need in my opinion because there's no big chunks. And wipe that rim. Put my lid on. Ooh, hot. You just want to do it till it's finger tight. When it stops turning, you stop. You can use 3-finger method, and that's a good way of making sure you don't over twist that ring. So this is going to go on the platform. You can do this in a water bath canner, and then you just want to make sure that you have the boiling water over the jars. I have been using a steam canner for anything that's 45 minutes or under processing instead of my water bath canner because it's lighter, it's less water. It's just an easier process to me. 1 inch. Wipe that rim. Keep debating what to do with the rest of the tomatoes. I think I'm going to do crushed, but I really love the National Center's recipe for spaghetti sauce without meat, but I'll do that with some of this year's. And I'm going to stock up on more Mrs. Wages pizza sauce. Because we really enjoy having homemade pizza. So I'm going to put the lid on top of my jars and turn the heat up. And this will come up to where there's steam shooting out the back, and I have a gauge up here, and when it gets over to this red line, and there's lots of steam coming out the back, I will set my timer for I have to always double check, 40 minutes. When the 40 minutes is done, I turn off the heat and you let it set for at least 5 minutes. That's part of the processing with a steam canner. Then you can remove this lid. And this is a stainless steel steam canner. I really like it. I had an aluminum one, and I think our hard water didn't agree with it, and it sprung a leak. This does not do that. So I highly recommend, if you're looking to get a steam canner, to get a stainless steel one. It was a birthday present for me, and it was a wonderful present. So I'm gonna clean up my mess here. There's not that much. I have more pizza sauce than what I anticipated. Maybe I should have cooked it down more, but I did as the recipe said. So we just go with the flow. Sometimes that happens with canning. As long as you did everything the directions say, your yield can be a little different. Okay, it's starting to do that. So I turn my heat down. I don't want it to buck up like that. So I need to, okay, just turn my heat down so it won't do that popping up and down, and it will level out, and I will set my timer then for 40 minutes. The jar is all sealed, and it will be wonderful on pizzas. And like I said, a pint, we'll do 2 pizzas. Sometimes I do it in half pints, and the processing time is the same. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.